The day had been long and exhausting. I had classes back to back, and the heavy load of assignments looming over me felt like a mountain I was too tired to climb. By the time evening rolled around, I was tempted to head straight to my apartment and bury myself under the covers. But somehow, my best friend, Tyler, convinced me otherwise. "Come on, Jenna," Tyler said, slinging his gym bag over his shoulder. "It's been weeks since we worked out together. Let's just hit the gym for an hour. It'll be empty this late. Trust me, you'll feel better." I groaned, pretending to be annoyed, but deep down, I knew he was right. The gym always helped me blow off steam. Plus, Tyler and I always had a way of making the most boring things fun together. So, after a little more coaxing and a promise of stopping for smoothies afterward, I agreed. We pulled up to the campus gym around 10:30 p.m. As expected, the parking lot was nearly empty. Inside, the fluorescent lights buzzed gently overhead, casting a soft glow across the gleaming floors and rows of machines. Aside from the night shift janitor mopping near the locker rooms, the place was completely ours. Tyler shot me a grin as we walked in. "Told you. Perfect." I laughed and dropped my bag by one of the benches. The moment I pulled my hair into a ponytail and tightened my sneakers, I felt a rush of excitement. There was something weirdly exhilarating about having the whole place to ourselves. It was like we had unlocked some hidden part of campus life few others got to experience. We started out doing a light jog on the treadmills side by side. Tyler kept making faces at me in the mirror in front of us, trying to make me laugh. It worked as it always did. After about 20 minutes of cardio, we moved over to the free weights, challenging each other to lift just a little heavier than last time. Tyler, being the show-off that he was, attempted to bench press an absurd amount of weight. I stood behind him, pretending to be a serious spotter, while secretly laughing at how much he was struggling. "Don't you dare let me drop this," he grunted. "Relax, Hulk," I teased, gripping the bar with both hands just in case. "I got you." After he racked the weights and dramatically collapsed onto the bench, we both burst out laughing. The sound echoed off the gym walls, making it feel like we were kids playing somewhere we weren't supposed to be. Sweaty and a little out of breath, we decided to take a break. Tyler grabbed 2 water bottles from his bag and tossed me one. We sat down on the mats in the stretching area, the coolness of the floor a welcome relief. "You know," Tyler said, leaning back on his elbows and looking up at the ceiling, "this place feels so different when it's empty. Like it's ours." I nodded, taking a sip from my bottle. "Yeah, it's kinda magical." For a moment, there was a comfortable silence between us. We had been best friends since freshman year. There wasn't much we didn't know about each other. We had seen each other through bad breakups, failed exams, family drama, and endless late-night study sessions. But lately, there had been something unspoken in the air between us. A tension neither of us dared to name. Maybe it was the emptiness of the gym, the strange feeling of freedom, or just the way Tyler was looking at me right then. But I felt my heart race for reasons that had nothing to do with exercise. "You ever think about how different things could have been if we met under different circumstances?" he asked suddenly. I blinked, caught off guard. "What do you mean?" He shrugged, a small smile playing at his lips. "I don't know. If we weren't just friends." The air between us shifted. I felt heat rise to my cheeks, and I quickly looked away, pretending to be fascinated by a scratch on the mat. "I mean," I said, trying to sound casual, "I guess I've thought about it. Once or twice." Tyler sat up, turning to face me fully. "Only once or twice, huh?" I risked a glance at him and found him grinning that stupid, charming grin of his. I rolled my eyes but couldn't help smiling back. "Okay, maybe more than that," I admitted. He leaned closer, his voice dropping to a softer tone. "Me too, Jenna." My heart thudded so loudly, I was sure he could hear it. It was ridiculous. This was Tyler. My Tyler. The same guy who once ate an entire pizza by himself and then cried about it. And yet here we were. Before I could overthink it, Tyler reached out and gently brushed a strand of hair from my face. His fingers lingered at my cheekbone, and I found myself leaning into his touch without even meaning to. Neither of us spoke. We didn't need to. In the quiet, empty gym, Under the hum of the fluorescent lights, Tyler leaned in and kissed me. It was nothing like I expected. It wasn't rushed or awkward or messy. It was slow, careful, like we both understood how much this moment meant. I dropped my water bottle, not caring as it rolled away, and wrapped my arms around his neck. He pulled me closer, his hands finding my waist. When we finally broke apart, we both laughed, slightly breathless and a little stunned. "I guess we're not just friends anymore," I said, my voice shaky but happy. Tyler rested his forehead against mine. "Guess not." We sat there for a while, just holding each other, letting the reality of what had just happened sink in. It felt surreal, and yet it felt right, like it had been a long time coming. Eventually, we got up and resumed our workout, though it was mostly just an excuse to stay in each other's orbit a little longer. Tyler insisted on showing off with handstand push-ups, nearly toppling over and making me laugh so hard I had to sit down. At one point, he challenged me to a race on the row machines, and when I beat him, barely, he demanded a rematch. We ran around the gym like little kids, playing basketball with an abandoned ball we found near the back. Hours slipped by, without us noticing. It wasn't until well past midnight that we realized we should probably head home. As we gathered our things, Tyler grabbed my hand, lacing our fingers together like it was the most natural thing in the world. It felt so easy, so perfect. "Best gym session ever?" he asked, winking. I laughed. "The best." We walked out into the cool night air, the gym doors locking behind us. As we stood under the streetlight, Tyler pulled me in for another kiss, this one softer, sweeter. "I'm really glad you came tonight," he whispered. "Me too," I said, smiling up at him. That night marked the start of something beautiful. Tyler and I grew even closer, not just as friends, but as something much deeper. We still worked out together, still teased each other mercilessly, but now there were stolen kisses between sets and long, lazy mornings after late-night gym adventures. And even now, years later, every time I walk past that old campus gym, I can't help but smile. Because what we did together in that empty gym that night, opening our hearts to something new, something terrifying and wonderful, is something I'll never, ever forget.